morning, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of the way you start your day and start your week. I pray that these words impact you as they impacted me, and that we always use them to have a better relationship with our Heavenly Father. Today I'm going to be looking at the book of Micah, in particular in chapter 4. And this whole prophetic message, this whole thing from Micah, is a message to the Israelites, or for God's people, that they will be judged for being a rebellious nation. But in the midst of it, we see a lot of hope and a lot of good things to look at. We're going to look at Micah chapter 4, verses 1 through 2. They read, "It shall come to pass in the later days that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established as the highest of the mountains, and it shall be lifted up above the hills, and people shall flow to it, and many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, that we may walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." So there's all kinds of powers in this life today. There's all kinds of nations, and even our own, that don't follow God, that find him as either non-existent or something that we shouldn't follow, and they have their own way. And evil is still really present in our time of age. And it can be discouraging. It can be discouraging to see political tensions rise and wonder when they're ever going to end. But God gives us hope here. God says one day, there's all these tall mountains right now, which is known for governments and powers and nations, that are high in the sky. But don't worry, I'm one day going to be the sole mountain, the highest mountain, the one that everybody hears from, and the one that is governing all. See, that's talking about God's future kingdom, when his kingdom from heaven descends on earth, and all is made well, and all is right, and no more sin, and no matter what way it's going to be, God's kingdom is going to have the perfect government that we all are going to love. So I encourage you throughout this whole election process, throughout this whole rest of your week, and throughout the rest of our lives here on earth, that we don't have to be discouraged thinking that there won't be a future hope, that there won't be a time when God's kingdom will never be established, because it certainly will. God's mountain will be the highest mountain, his ways will be the highest ways, and we all will follow him. Thank you for joining me this week.